Got me looking good on that, bro. I'm
Yes,
solid.
sir. Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's watching, man. Shout out to the homie Amir.
Appreciate you, boss man.
It's your man, Billionaire PA. I'm out here in New Orleans, man. Living my dreams, speaking them into existence. Originally, man, I'm from heaven. I was born in Alabama, though. You know what I'm saying? I currently live in Los Angeles, South Africa, New Orleans, wherever, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of them people, man, that wherever I get an opportunity, bro, to share my gifts and my talents, that's where my home at. Right now, my home is New Orleans because I'm here sharing my gifts and my talents. My definition of manhood is basically not a person that has you know a tool between their legs, but one that learns how to openly be transparent with themselves and understanding self-love is the most important thing because I believe that any man or any woman got to love themselves before they can actually share love to the universe. Two, I got a quote that says, I'd rather lose you to the truth than to keep you with a lie. So manhood to me, it means that, this is something I had to learn is I'd rather tell people the truth and give them an option to leave, you know what I'm saying, versus lie and keeping them and then they finding out. So I like to live transparently, bro, and I like to live very free. So, I'm still elevating, still growing as a man, and I feel like a true man will understand his weaknesses, and wherever he is weak at, he'll hang around other men and other people who are strong in those particular areas to help them elevate and to help them grow. My first example of a manhood, bro, oh man, I was born in Alexander City, Alabama, bro, and I just want to answer it truthfully. I never really grew up seeing good examples of men. My mama was a phenomenal person. I understand that she is not a man, but I like the fact that she played both roles. And she raised me to be, a very responsible man. And having a black woman raised, I feel like any black male in the environments that we grow up in is very difficult. And so I tip my hat to my mama for just doing everything she could to make sure that I became the man that I am today. And that's why a lot of times you hear when I speak about my grandmama, I speak about my mama because they were the most influential people in my life. So as far as like men, I really didn't meet men that I can call like good people until I got a little bit older. And what I mean by that is men that wouldn't, stab me in my back, be sleeping with, if, my girl, DMing her and stuff like that. People that you can trust until I met the good brother like 19 Keys, Brother Ben X, Red Pill and Blue Pill. I'm putting murals up around the world. And I was a grown man. I would consider myself, I was a grown man before I had the opportunity of like meeting who I call real men to me, and what I needed. Sometimes I don't have to, shoot every shot. I can depend on Brother BNX to do that. I go to the speeches now. I don't have to speak the whole hour. It's other talented people around me that, can hold their own. Like, every man that I ever had been around, bro, coming up from a child to when I was 22 years old, they all was like either I was born in a neighborhood that taught me how to sell drugs. That's all I've ever known in my whole life. You had two choices. We either selling dope or we stealing. I never been no thief, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I can only speak from the experiences of what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Later on in my life, my grandfather became an amazing man, even to this day for me. But you know what I'm saying? He grew, he matured. But this is the same man that I saw, you know what I'm saying? My family open about it. I saw him hold a sawed-off shotgun to my grandmama's head, and tell her that he would blow her brains out. And what I saw in return, I seen the black woman sit right there and say, if that makes you a man, then pull the trigger. So when you ask me about manhood, I always seen in my family, though, to me, the woman wore the man pants, and then whether people believe in God or not, my grandmama was sitting in her chair and she was holding her Bible. So I was just, at that time, what did that do for me? It built my confidence at whatever it is I believe in. I want to have that type of faith. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got the type of faith for charging $963.36 for a book, because I'm always replaying that moment. This is not a story somebody told me, bro. This is something I seen with my own eyes. You know, my granddaddy ended up going to prison for that. So that's why I'm always really highlighting, you know, not knocking my granddad. I love my granddad. I appreciate him. But like I told him, and I tell anybody in my family, like I love my mama, but we had some differences. And I'm gonna share my story, and you know, if they want to share their story, they can share theirs. But my family, we solid now, and we've grown past those situations. And I like the fact that we was mature enough to we even still talk about it amongst each other. So it's like we don't really run from no conversations. That helped us to become better. And one other thing that I would say, it's funny we talking about manhood, but I keep talking about my mom and my grandma. Is that cool? The most important manhood lesson, man, is to understand that. And I want to make sure I'm very tapped into my subconscious brain when I say this right here, bro. I stopped worrying about what people think about me. I really don't care what nobody think about me, how many people see the interview, and regardless of what they say, bro. I removed all expectations off of humans, and I started to expect more of myself. When you think about how many people in this world don't get to live out, you know, where I'm staying at right now in New Orleans, there's a cemetery right next door. And I just think about all of the men in there that died without living their dream. And they died without putting their dream out because they were scared of what the next man or woman had to say about them. You know what I'm saying? Imagine, bro. You know how many people told me not to sell my book for $900? And these people don't even have a book. So I realized we got to stop taking advice from people who hadn't done what you attempting to do. If you ain't never wrote no book, don't give me no book advice. If you ain't, you know, you got the broke people telling you how to get rich. Just don't add up to me. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's intelligent, and I'm one of those people who I tend to watch people's feet more than I watch their mouth. And I want to make sure that your feet is in alignment with your mouth. Because a lot of people say great things. And everything that I'm saying on here, I be thinking about it. And sometimes I be overthinking what I be speaking about, because I want to make sure that when I hop up out this seat and you cut that camera off, I'm actually living every word that I speak, bro. I'm being as truthful and as transparent as I possibly can, so that it allows me to elevate and live my dream and keep my integrity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just doing this for no money. My integrity is important. The relationships with the people that I built is very important. And so that's it, bro. I'm living the dream, man. Tap in. Question about marriage. I know I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people who do believe in marriage. I respect how they live their life. But I believe that if I want to marry anybody right now, I can do it with my mindset. I'm married to my dream, bro. I've been married to wealthy minds my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm married to my mama. I'm in 63 different relationships, bro. I got like 63 women, bro. A lot of people don't. A lot of times when we talk about relationships, people always think it got to be intimate. But I really am in like probably over 100 relationships. I have a relationship with my mom, and I have a relationship with my sisters. I have a relationship with their children, and those three people, from the mama to the sister to the niece, the level of communication cannot be the same between all of the relationships. You have to communicate with different people differently. And so I have to study these people and learn how they communicate so that we can have a better relationship. And anytime if you want a successful relationship, you have to cultivate that relationship. The key word is cultivate. If people realize and Google what the word cult means, you know what I'm saying? They will understand that you have to nurture, be open-minded, that everyone does not think like you. You have to learn to talk with your ears and listen with your mouth. If you miss that, that means you got some work to do. That just means use your ears more than your mouth. And sometimes I have to shut up and I have to listen to, the great women that are around me, because for one, that's why they're around me, is because I see them as being great. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we might not express that out of our mouth, but for me, any woman that's around me, I think highly of you. I think that you're amazing. I might not say it, but I think that highly of myself.
about that?
I feel that it's very important that we hold before we hold each other accountable. I think it's best to practice, turn that finger around and point it at yourself and hold yourself accountable for what it is that you say. Because a lot of times I see we'll be quick to point fingers and ask other people to be great at something that we haven't even become great in. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I see it in the essence of we'll have parents telling their children that they should go get six figures or they should go do something and they'll beat that into them or they should go to college. But you know what I'm saying? I understand you want the best for your child, but you didn't even do it. So what I would encourage you to do is just put them around examples that did do it so that they can see that. And it's called, peer pressure, meaning put them around people their age who they gonna take it from versus being taught spoken at. So I don't speak at people. I just let these feet right here do the walking. And anybody that know me, know, man, I ain't playing about none of my dreams. I'm going to get it and I'm holding myself accountable. So it's easy for me to hold my mama accountable or hold, my sister accountable. But you know what I'm saying? Hold yourself accountable, man. Go get your dreams. One of the ways that I hold myself accountable is I write down each one of my particular dreams, bro. And I go get them, bro. I set dates on them and I just go execute. I speak them things into existence. I get online and I find people who already executed that dream and I start watching how they move. I don't have to meet them for them to mentor me. I start watching they posts, watching what they do.
This is the destiny, destiny. Creators manifest with me, manifest with me, manifest with me. I create my reality with the thoughts that I think. I create my reality with the